more in the future in Hollywood. Okay. He's doing a great job in this series. And so is this young man. Now, this young man, y'all might already know, is a hockey player, but you would never know in this series, honey. He is serving, he is giving. So let's get into it. Episode 4, it starts off with Sir Duncan being locked up, honey, in the dungeon. Egg comes to see him, but he's dressed in traditional Targaryen wear. He's no longer like a peasant. He's head to toe in black with the Targaryen sachet. Um, and they have a serious conversation. Dunk is very, very upset with Egg, as it's understandable, but at the same time, like, he realizes that if it wasn't for Egg, there would be no Duncan right now at this point. It was Egg that saved his behind. Okay. So they have this very serious conversation. Egg tells Sir Duncan, my uncle Baelor, Prince Baelor, told me that I should apologize for lying to you. And, Sir Duncan is still in his feelings. He's like, yeah, heir to the heir to the Iron Throne, that uncle. So, he's throwing shade. But after a while, the conversation, you can tell that Egg is very emotional. You can tell that he cares about Sir Duncan, and he feels really bad about lying to him. He feels really bad about the whole situation that he pretty much got Sir Duncan into. He knows that Sir Duncan is a great stand-up guy. Now, I want to point out some things in case you did not know. There are some differences. Sir Duncan is in the books, he's a teenager. He's not as that much older than Egg. Versus in the TV series, he's like a 20-something-year-old man. So in the book, it's more of a big brother, older brother relationship. A relationship that Aegon never had. What a F up his real brothers are. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. So, he really has feelings for Sir Duncan and vice versa. Before him, the only person, Sir Duncan was running around talking to horses. He still is. Okay. So they have a conversation. But overall, you can tell that Sir Duncan, Egg is just a kid. He did wrong. He apologized, and Sir Duncan accepts it. Egg says, "Hey, my uncle Baelor, Prince Baelor, wants to talk to you." So Sir Duncan hops up. He said, "Okay, I'm not going to keep him waiting." So, and keep in mind, Prince Baelor. One thing I love about this series is so different from House of the Dragon series and also Game of Thrones. That from what I've seen, there's actually some good Targaryens. There's actually some depth to the characters. Like, I feel like in House of Dragons, everybody had a little bit of evil. You didn't know who to trust. Alicent was a little bit evil. Rhaenyra was a little bit evil. Everybody had a little bit of evil in them. Okay, the only person that wasn't really evil was Viserys. Everybody else had a little bit of evil going on. So I feel like Taylor is that dude. He is a stand-up through and through. And he is serving his hand. So anyway, he asked to speak to Sir Dunk. They bring him in there. And basically he says, listen, how well can you fight? Let's just cut the meat and potatoes. How well can you fight? So basically, during the conversation, he basically tells Sir Dunk, hey, you need to ask for a trial by combat. Okay, that's your only way out of this, because the last person that put their hands on a Targaryen lost their hands, okay? And Aerian's evil ass, he wants your head, but I'm not going to let him have it. So your only way out of this is a trial by combat. Oh, and let me rewind. Before that, Sir Duncan was defending Egg, saying, he's a good kid. He's not, because Prince Baelor made a comment about him spilling the tea. He was like, well, the road to hell was paved with good intentions, honey. He might have meant well, but he did not do well by you. Prince Baelor said he should have came and got me, because look at the predicament. And he's right. Look at the predicament that Egg got him in. I know he didn't mean to, but look at the predicament. Egg, although he did what he could do. it would have taken too long for him to get to the castle and all that, go through all that where you been. Because remember, he's hiding at this point. So his family doesn't even know that he's right up under their nose. So, he went and got Sir Duncan, which was not wise. Anyway, so basically, yeah, he tells him trial by combat, okay? And so they go to meet with the council. Everybody's at the table, the king, Aaron's evil ass, they all at the table, but Prince Baelor is also there too, as hand of the king, of course. And so he's, Aaron is, they're discussing. I'm trying to think of who spoke first. Basically, they asked Dunk, what do you have to say for yourself? And he's like, okay, I want trial by combat. And Aaron's evil ass, because he's a coward. Let's be honest, he's a coward. Sir Duncan tossed his butt left and right, all up and down that puppeteer show. So he don't want that no more. So he goes, okay, let's do a trial by 7. And everybody's kind of like, a trial by 7. But Sir Duncan asked, what's a trial by 7? Basically, a trial by 7 is the same as a trial by combat, except with 7 knights. 7 knights on each team. And the reason Aaron chooses this is because Aaron is a coward. And he does, but the real reason he doesn't feel, Sir Duncan doesn't know anybody. He knows this. He's new. He sticks out like a sore thumb. So nobody knows him. So he's thinking in his head, okay, nobody is going to join his side. And who's going to go up against the mighty Targaryens, right? So that's his train of thought. And he's a coward. We just can't leave that out, and he don't want that smoke with Sir Duncan. So that scene at the table, that is something, because the king would know. If Prince Baelor knows, the king should absolutely know what a trial by 7 is. But I think it's to explain to the audience. They had to explain what is that, and so that was an opportune moment for HBO to get that in there. Okay. So I'm loving it. After that point, let me see what happens next. Basically, Prince Baelor tells him, listen, Sir Duncan, go ahead and get your find some brave men to fight with you, okay? Because if he doesn't, they're going to take it as the gods are not with him, and that, he's guilty. He's kind of less of a Targaryen. He doesn't have the classic silver hair or the purple eyes. He's what did it say? His mother was Danish, so he takes maybe more of the Danish side. Because the Targaryens are known for being crazy with that hair and purple eyes, and so Prince Baelor is anything but that. So yeah, he talks about the shield, because you can tell Sir Duncan he's scared. He's crying, and the Ironsmith gives him hope, like, no, brother, you're gonna be all right. Okay, so now they leave us in suspense, honey. They leave us in suspense. The trial by 7 is about to start, honey. I think 6 people. He just needs one more to start, but he doesn't find out. That fool, Sir Stefan, Raymond's cousin, punk ass. Trace, he's like, oh, I'm not for you. I'm going over there with the Targaryens, honey. And Raymond calls him out. Raymond's like, you ain't no good. You trade your honor, okay, for some land. Okay, but he's a piece of crap. He don't care. So he went over there. Raymond stood firm with Sir Duncan. Good for him. And he's here. So he tells Sir Duncan to knight him. So the other knight actually knights him. And also we find out that Sir Raymond did not help Sir Duncan. Not Sir Raymond. That Stefan did not help Duncan get any knights. It was actually Egg. And this is why I love Egg. Egg spends all night. So we know this because this happens the next day. So we know that all night long, Egg must have been going from tent to tent, rounding people up to help his friend, to help Sir Duncan. That's how much he cares about Sir Duncan. The love and the compassion that these two have for each other is very touching. It's definitely going to make you team, if you're not already. It's going to make you team Dunk and team Egg. They just vibe. So yeah. So Now Sir Duncan is really, you could tell, you can see it all throughout his face. He's feeling defeated. He's like, oh my goodness. So now they got to get two more people because they down to five. Like I said, they said Knight Raymond. So now they just need one more. And guess who comes through to save the day? Prince Balar. It was amazing. I was on the edge of my seat. Just, oh yes, yes. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. Prince Magar, Magar, he was shocked. He was like, brother, have you lost your mind? And Prince Baylor was like, let the gods decide, Danny, if this man is guilty or not. Because he was like, oh, well, you side with the person who, sir, sir, you know your sons are liars. You know that. Oh, and speaking, I gotta talk before I end this live, y'all. I've got to talk about this. We see how evil Arion is. Arion, Egg tells a story when Duncan is in the prison. He tells the story, not when Duncan's in prison, but he tells Sir Duncan about a time when Arion used to sneak in his bed and put a blade between his legs and tell him that his father had too many sons, that the king had too many sons, and that he would cut off Egg's, you know what, so he could have a sister to marry. That's how messed up Arion is. Arion, he is a monster. He's a psychopath. Not only does he think he's a dragon and he ends up drinking wildfire later on. A little spoiler, I'm sorry. But like he's mentally sick. And that's why, because I could not figure out, why does Egg hate his brother so much? Remember when he was yelling out, kill him, kill him. I was like, dang, Egg really cannot stand his brother. And now we see why. He's a horrible, horrible person. You guys, if you guys like my commentary, if you love, the Game of Thrones the way I do, the House of Dragons, which look for it. I plan on putting some more today. And my goal is to put at least one video out a week on the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and past videos on the House of the Dragons. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay. See, this is some archaic nonsense, but that's what we're talking about back then. So Duncan, his heart is in his chest. He really thinks that he's being served a death sentence. That's how he feels. The first thing he does is goes to talk to his horses. And let me see, y'all. Sorry, it's a lot going on. I got to write things down to keep up, but we did pretty good. Let me see where we at in this. Seek champions, yes. Okay. Okay. So hold on, y'all. Okay. Yes. So after that, he sees Egg, and y'all should see the excitement when he sees Egg. So Raymond, actually, he's talking to Raymond after he talks to the horses. It looks as if they're back at that old puppeteer place, but they're discussing like what they're going to do. Raymond, if y'all don't remember, was the squire that was helping his cousin in the earlier season episodes. Okay. So they have become friends. So they're like, okay, what you gonna do? And he's like, I don't know. And Egg comes in, and Egg is like, he's excited, but he comes in there with his brother, Darren, which is the one who lied on Sir Dunk, saying that he kidnapped Egg, which everybody knows. I think even his father knows that that's a lie. His sons are just no good. One is a drunk and a liar, and the other one is an evil ass liar that believes he's the actual blood of a dragon. Okay. So anyway, Egg basically says, he's going to help him. He's going to help find knights for him. But during all this conversation, Darren, the drunk one, the one that lied on him, he takes Sir Dunk outside, and he tells him about the dream. After Sadunk almost put a knife to his throat because he was pissed, and I don't blame him, nigga. You forgive me. You causing me to damn near lose my life. This is half your fault. So anyway, he does. He goes out. They have a conversation, and he tells him about the dream he has. He has a dream that basically Sir Dunk gets crushed by this huge black dragon, but the dragon dies on top of him, and he lives. So I think Dunk asked, did I cause the dragon? Because he's such a caring person. He's more concerned about the dragon than himself. He asked Daron. He said, "Did I cause the dragon to die?" He said, "I know." But we all could assume that this is symbolic, right? These is symbolic. Okay, so we can assume that a very important, a very large person, as far as large personality, is going to fall. A very great Targaryen is going to fall dead on top of Sir Dunk. Okay, so after that happens, let's see. Oh yeah, I hope I didn't skip, but Sir Raymond's cousin comes in there, and he's ooh. Y'all, he pissed me off. His lion ass came up in there and promised to got hope in Sir Duncan and said he was going to get him some knights. We found out later that he lied about that. I was believing him. He was talking about how the Targaryens wasn't, ish, and they were sick of him, the Targaryens, and how he wanted to fight for the good guy. Sir Dunk stood up for the innocent. Child. Anyway, what else happens after that? Okay, so yeah, I skipped around a little bit. Okay, wait a minute. Oh yeah, also when Egg and his brother Daron go to talk to Sir Dunk, they got a whole scheme. He's a coward. So he's like, okay, these Targaryens are cowards. The only one worth its salt is Baelor that we've seen so far. The king, the king.
You guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed my commentary, if you like my videos, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. See you next time with another video. Peace.